So we know complaining is damaging to every area of our lives. Then how do we become complaint-free? Well, there's a simple and easy tool to doing it, and it's this bracelet right here. Now, this bracelet, the complaint-free purple bracelet, is not a bracelet that you wear and just show the world that you support a complaint-free world. This isn't what this is about.
The most challenging thing was to accept when I'd made a remark or something that should be classified as a complaint, enough to move this back from right wrist to left wrist to left wrist to right wrist, and to be honest with myself and not say, no, that wasn't something I have to do that for, because I think it's real good to be honest with yourself about this. That's the whole idea.
I just found myself having to reword things before just letting it out, you know, having to come up with the solution instead of complaining about it.
One of the things that I do to help create a sort of complaint-free community within the college is I teach at different campuses, and anytime a student sees another student wearing the complaint-free bracelet, they are instructed to go up and high-five them. And that's to show support that, hey, I'm in this with you and I understand. And they can't complain about it because I've assigned it to them. So it's a way to show support. They're in the process too, and everybody's at a different part in their journey. But within that little small community, I've had lots of students come back and say, hey, I was at Best Buy or I was at Target and I saw a guy with a complaint-free bracelet and I went up to him and they started chatting. And so it's been a really positive experience.
Having the complaint-free bracelet on my wrist, it's made me more aware of how much I do complain, and it's helped me cut back, and I didn't realize how much I was complaining beforehand.
If you're not interested, I would strongly recommend to get interested, because the change that will come about is priceless. You can't buy this type of change. For me, I didn't want to do it, and it's changed my life radically, and it's changed those around me. If you're on the fence about it, I'd say get off the fence and start doing it. Because the longer you just sit there and wait, is the longer time it's going to take you to complete it.
The idea is every time you catch yourself complaining, you take it off one wrist and you switch it to the other wrist. And you switch it back and forth with every complaint.
There you go, man. Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
There you go. Doing the 21 days for myself was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Going back to the sense of, I tend to be outspoken. I tend to always have opinions about things, and I view them as opinions. I think, you know, input is good, but it's at what point does an input and an opinion become a complaint? So it was more just realizing how I'm wording things, how I'm handling situations, and then trying to stay on the positive half of everything and just handling the situation in a different manner than I ever had before.
I know people would point out to me whenever I faltered. People were very quick to say, Rabbi John, what did you just say? And I became even more aware of my language.
If you continue to do what you've been doing, you're going to continue to get what you've been getting. And if you're happy with that, God bless you. But if you're not happy with it, there is a path out of it. You're going to have to change some behavior. You may not understand what behavior you have to change, and I'm not going to tell you what behavior to change. All I'm going to say is stick this bracelet on your wrist, and every time you complain, you move it. And if you keep and get it to 21 days without moving it, your things will change for you.
I thought it was going to be easy, because I never complain to anything. I'm always happy, joking around. But then when I started, I found out I complained a lot. Eventually, I grabbed the bracelet, I put it on. I'm not gonna lie, 2 minutes later, 2 minutes. Okay, never mind, switch it. Because every time you complain, you had to switch your bracelet, you know, to the other arm. So I started realizing of how much complaining I had on me. So for like the first 2 weeks, I couldn't stop complaining. So then I realized, okay, before I say something, I'm just gonna think about it first, and I just leave it like that.
The idea is to go 21 consecutive days without complaining, and therefore 21 days without moving the bracelet. Now what's going to happen is, the first several days you will move it back and forth so many times, people think you'll have a nervous disorder. You just keep switching it back and forth and back and forth. But in time, you'll get to where you'll go a few hours, or maybe even an entire day. And then ultimately, you go 21 consecutive days. Now, why 21 consecutive days? People believe it takes 21 days to form a new habit. And what we want to do is make being complaint-free habitual for you.
My teddy bear is on his 5th day, and I got my teddy bear from Build-A-Bear. And I made this shirt, and I made a bracelet cut down to his size. And Teddy really likes the idea of the complaint-free world because it's really fun to try.
This is one day at a time. No one is perfect. No one's going to go through the next month without stumbling or the next 2 months without stumbling. We all stumble. The question is, how quickly do we lift ourselves back up and put ourselves back into a place where we are no longer gossiping, where we're no longer complaining, where we're using our words in an appropriate manner.
So when we look at various techniques that are out there that can lift people's awareness or consciousness or that can transform a community, what we find is there are 3 elements that consistently apply. One is that there is something that everyone is doing together. They have agreed to do something together. As they begin to do that together, they find they are thinking and speaking in alignment. There's a resonance that begins to form. As that resonance begins to form, then there begins to be a sense of we are bigger than any of us individually, and there's a joy and a delight that expands into the larger community, into the larger organization.
We're totally shocked when we give them to people and they say, you know, it won't work for me, I don't even want to try it, I don't even want to bother with it. And our lives are so joyous because we don't complain. We can't imagine why others would not want to try it.
Even when the program was done and we, went through our prizes and stuff, it really had a lasting effect. And, you could just kind of, I have several of these purple bracelets in my drawer at my desk, and every once in a while when things kind of get out of hand, I just kind of pull out a few purple bracelets and throw them around, and it just brings back the whole experience that we went through for that time period.
If you think you're tough and you don't complain and you're happy all the time, I'll give you 21 days.
A while back, we were fortunate enough to be featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and after I did my segment with her, Oprah turned to me and she said, I have nothing to complain about. And I thought, of course not. You're Oprah Winfrey, for goodness sake. What in the world would you have to complain about? You're one of the richest, most respected people on the planet. Then I got from speaking to her, Oprah doesn't have everything she has, and therefore she doesn't complain. Oprah doesn't complain, and therefore she has everything she has. Oprah gets that she makes her own lunch, as do you. Make it a wonderful, magnificent buffet and share it with the world. Thank you.